For a long time, Sony's APS-C lineup has felt stable, almost comfortably predictable. The cameras have been good, sometimes even excellent, but rarely disruptive. The Sony A6700 sits right in that category. It is widely considered one of the strongest hybrid APS-C cameras available, delivering impressive autofocus, reliable video performance, and a well-balanced feature set that suits both photographers and content creators. Yet despite its strengths, it still felt like an evolution rather than a breakthrough. It refined the formula instead of rewriting it. That is exactly why the conversation around the Sony A6900 feels noticeably more intense. The Sony A6900 is not being discussed in the usual new model, better specs way. The tone has shifted. The rumors are no longer just about incremental upgrades but about intent, about what Sony might be trying to do with APS-C as a category. For years, APS-C has often been positioned as a secondary tier within Sony's ecosystem, sitting behind full frame as an entry point or lightweight alternative. But the way the Sony A6900 is being framed suggests something more ambitious, a possible attempt to push APS-C back into a leadership role in performance, not just convenience. Of course, nothing is confirmed. The Sony A6900 has not been officially announced, and every detail circulating right now belongs firmly in the rumor space. Still, what makes these leaks stand out is their consistency. They are not random or disconnected claims. Instead, they form a fairly coherent direction that matches broader industry trends. At the center of it all is one of the most repeated claims, a new 33-megapixel stacked APS-C sensor. If this turns out to be real, it would be a meaningful shift for the format. A stacked sensor is not just about resolution. It is about speed and how quickly information can be read from the sensor itself. That speed affects nearly everything: autofocus accuracy, rolling shutter behavior, burst shooting performance, and video readout quality. In practical terms, it translates into faster response times, more stable tracking during motion, and a shooting experience that feels closer to Sony's higher-end full-frame bodies. Paired with this sensor is a rumored next-generation processor, often described as an XR2 class engine. This is where things start to sound significantly more aggressive. The Sony A6900 is expected to deliver extremely high burst speeds, potentially up to 30 frames per second with an electronic shutter and around 15 frames per second mechanically. On paper, that places it firmly in the territory of action-focused cameras designed for sports and wildlife shooting. But as always, performance at this level comes with constraints. One of the most frequently mentioned concerns is buffer capacity. The camera may be capable of shooting very fast bursts, but only for short durations before it needs to clear data. That creates a shooting style based on short, powerful sequences rather than sustained continuous capture. It is not necessarily a flaw, but it is a limitation that will matter to certain users more than others. Another major rumored improvement is in-body image stabilization. The Sony A6900 is said to feature an upgraded IBIS system offering up to 8.5 stops of compensation. If accurate, that would be a significant step forward for handheld shooting. Strong stabilization does more than reduce shake, it expands how and where a camera can be used. It allows slower shutter speeds, more stable handheld video, and greater flexibility in low-light environments without relying heavily on tripods or external rigs. Design changes appear to focus on refinement rather than reinvention. Reports suggest a slightly larger and more ergonomic body compared to previous APS-C models. That may sound minor, but ergonomics often have a bigger impact on real-world shooting than specifications. A deeper grip, improved balance, and better button placement can completely change how a camera feels during long sessions or fast-paced shooting. On the video side, the Sony A6900 appears to prioritize practicality over headline-grabbing extremes. Instead of chasing 8K recording, the focus is on high-quality 4K output. Rumors point to oversampled 4K at 60 frames per second and 4K at 120 frames per second with a slight crop. This approach suggests Sony is prioritizing clean image quality, manageable heat levels, and efficient processing rather than chasing resolution numbers that may not offer meaningful benefits to most users. One of the more debated rumored decisions is the storage setup. The Sony A6900 is expected to feature a single CF Express Type A card slot. While this ensures extremely fast write speeds necessary for high bitrate recording and rapid bursts, it removes redundancy. For many professionals, dual card slots are not a luxury, they are a safeguard. Losing that backup option could be a deal breaker for certain types of work, especially in event or documentary environments where data security is critical. When compared to the Sony A6700, the potential upgrade path becomes more significant. The A6700 is a strong and capable camera, but it reflects a more conservative evolution. Its 26-megapixel sensor delivers solid results, but in a market increasingly moving toward higher resolution APS-C sensors, it can feel slightly limited for users who rely on cropping flexibility. Wildlife and sports photographers, in particular, often benefit from having more resolution headroom. Stabilization on the A6700 is effective but not class-leading. It performs well in most situations, but stronger IBIS systems can noticeably improve handheld sharpness and video stability in challenging conditions. Similarly, while the body is compact and portable, some users feel that the handling experience could be improved with a more substantial grip and better tactile control layout. Another ongoing concern is the single card slot design, which continues to divide opinion. For casual users, it is rarely an issue. For professionals, however, it introduces unnecessary risk. At higher price points, redundancy is often expected as standard rather than optional. Whether Sony fully commits to that direction remains unknown. But if even part of what is currently being discussed becomes reality, the Sony A6900 may not just continue the lineup, it could redefine what APS-C from Sony is expected to be.